week, I'm going to teach you how to sell this stuff. And then next week, I'm going to show you how to actually scale this stuff out so you can go big. Okay? Everybody understand where we're at? Good. Good, good, good. Good. I'm seeing a lot of testimonials in the chat right now. Post those to the Facebook group. Shoot me a video and show me the videos you're ranking. That's what I really, really love. And like I said, I will make sure that when we start selling this again, you guys are the stars. So not only are you killing it in offline, but people are going to know your names in the online world too, because you're doing some pretty revolutionary stuff. All right, so are you guys ready to go with monetization? How we're going to take these videos that we've been ranking and how to monetize them? You ready to rock and roll? Good, 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 good. Lots of yeses coming across the screen right now, which means it's time for me to jump right into it. So this week you're stuck with me. It's just me. Last week David rocked it out, really tore it up, and taught everybody some amazing stuff. I love that session. He actually ranked the video live on the call, which was pretty stinking cool. This week I'm going to teach you how to basically do some amazing things when selling. Okay? How many of you are a little freaked out about selling these videos once you get them put together? What do you think? How many of you are having kind of a tough time with that? And you're just like, oh, it's a little tough. I don't exactly know how to go about this. And yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Well, the thing is I am going to basically show you how to do it the right way, but how to do it the right way without it being hard. We're going to talk a little bit about pricing too, Bruce, so don't worry. That's part of the sales process. The thing is I know a lot of people would be in a very tough position if I told them they have to pick the phone up, but I'm going to show you guys how to manage calling businesses the right way today. So that's what's coming. We're going to get into that a little bit because I'm just going to be honest with you. If you want to do this the right way, having a personal voice conversation is going to be your best way to do it. Okay? Today I'm going to give you the confidence to do that because I'm going to show you how to do it right. All right, so that's where we're going today. That's what we're getting into. But before we get too deep into things, what we're going to do right now is jump into the big overview of what we're covering today. So here's what we're actually doing. Today we're going to be talking about what you're actually selling to offline business owners because, hey, let's be honest, we're not selling video ranking. All right? That's not what we're going to be selling. If you're selling that, you're going to run into a lot of problems, and this is going to be a very uncomfortable sale for you. So we're going to talk about what we're actually selling to offline business owners. The next thing is I'm going to talk to you about the client icebreaker. I'm going to show you how to get in, how to basically connect with these folks very easily, and I'm going to show you how to basically start a relationship with them so it's not super awkward, but so that it's not so unprofessional that you can't actually lead to a sale. So that's coming. The next thing is selling the service. Once you get that meeting and you actually get to talk to them a little bit after you've broken the ice, how the hell do you sell this and how do you conduct yourself? That's basically what we're going through then. Next is what do you charge for your services? All right, so what do you charge for this service? How do you charge people if you're doing pay-per-lead? You know, how do you charge people if you're doing a monthly? What are we doing? We'll go through that. The next thing is once you decide what you're charging these folks and they say, yes, that sounds good to us, what are you actually going to do to collect payments? So what are you doing to collect payments? Because listen, if we can't get paid, you know, what's the point? Or if payment is so crazy hard to do that, you know, it takes up too much of our time, then really what's the point? So like I said, today is all about me getting you into all of those things, getting them knocked out, and then the very next thing is I want to make sure, I want to make 100% sure that you guys know what we're doing when we go into the what's next section, okay? What we're doing when we go into the what's next section. So everything we just talked about, everything on the screen, are you guys ready to learn this stuff? Are you excited? I hope you're excited because it's going to be a very, very good day, and I'm going to show you a lot of cool things. Now, as we go, feel free to ask questions. If you have something that's like a little bit off topic of what I'm covering, please wait until the end, and I will ask. We are scheduled to go for about an hour and a half today, and then we have to cut exactly at an hour and a half. So if anything goes past that, make sure that we talk about it inside of the Facebook group. All right, guys? No more waiting. Let's get started. So first things first, what are you guys actually selling? What are you guys actually selling as we go through this service? What is it? What are we actually selling? Okay? Exactly. You're not selling YouTube video rankings. You're not selling video creation. You are selling leads. Does anybody have any misconceptions about that? We're not selling real estate on the web. Screw that, okay? For the most part, we're selling leads. Now, I know we sell those leads because we have real estate on the web, but your client doesn't give a damn that you have real estate on the web. Overall, that's not an important thing. Does everybody understand that? And here's the other thing. We don't want to tip our hat too much as to what we're doing. Okay? It doesn't matter what's going on. The only thing your client really needs to know is we generate leads using the internet. Would you guys agree with that? We generate leads using the internet. That's all they need to know. They need to know that these are local people who need their services, but those leads are what they want. Okay? Everybody follow me there. If so, yes. Tell me a big yes in the box. Say yes, and we're good. All right, so we're selling leads, and that's what we're after. Now, as long as you understand we're selling leads, then you're going to be fine through this course. If you go in trying to sell someone on a video ranking, on making sure you're number one on page one of Google, if you go in trying to sell that crap, you're going to get your ass handed to you, and that's all there is to it. Do not be like most of these internet marketers who don't make any money, because that's what they try to sell. They try to sell something technical, and they try to sell something intangible. Is a lead something that a business owner, just about any business owner out there, can understand? A qualified lead who needs their service. Is that something any business owner can understand? Good. So that's what we're selling. So there's no misconceptions. You know what we're doing. And as I move into this next section, as long as you know what we're doing, you're going to enjoy this. Oh, don't worry, Bruce. No, I know where you were going with that, but I want us to make sure that we absolutely know what we're giving to them. And I don't want you guys to have anything uncertain. I don't want you to have any language that doesn't fit, because what happens, guys, is if your language is off with how you're describing this, then you're going to have a tough time because it will slip into your sales pitch. Rick, I don't even mention the videos half the time. Sometimes I do, but I don't like talking about the videos. I just want them to know I bring them qualified leads, people who need their services using the internet. That's it. That's all they need to know. Now, why is that also very powerful to say? It's powerful to say because it makes you a little bit mysterious, and that's okay. All right, so let's move forward. First things first is icebreakers. Now, I want to talk about icebreakers today. How many of you realized that when you got into this video stuff, you were going to have to be talking to clients cold? Clients that had never met you before, had nothing to do with you. And how many of you did that scare a little bit? It's okay if it did, guys. It really is. It's okay. I've been there, and it's a little bit scary if you don't know how to do this the right way. Okay? But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to talk to you about the cold call script that we have. So we have a little bit of a cold call script that we go through, and I'm going to talk to you about how we cold call and how we get it done the right way. The next thing is what I call the warm call. I'm going to show you how to make sure when you call these businesses that they already know kind of who you are and what's going on, and something will click in their mind so that it's a little bit of a warmer call than your cold call. So we're going to go through that. And I've got scripts for you guys, by the way, which I will leave so you can download. Those will be in the members area when we're done. I've also got an example of something that you guys can put together really, really fast that is basically a walk-in handout or something you can fax to a business that really quickly tells them what to do and gives them a call to action. Does those things sound good? Does that sound like we have armed you with, you have these things, we've armed you with the tools that you need? Yeah. Okay. Armed and ready. Let's do this. So what we're going to do first is I'm actually going to switch your screen over just a little bit. I'm going to switch your screen over, and the first thing that I'm going through today is the cold call script. So you guys ready for the cold call script? Just type yes in the box if you're ready. Okay, can you guys see the thing on my screen? I'm going to zoom this just a little bit, don't worry. Can you say the thing on my screen that says cold call script? Okay, so I'm going to run through this with you, and I'm going to answer your questions as we go. So this is what happens. Let's say you set up a video and you got the video ranking, and maybe you've driven some calls, but you've not driven any calls to this particular business, okay? So they don't know you at all. They've not gotten any leads from you, nothing. They don't know who you are. This is your absolute cold call script. All right, you ready? Here's what we're going to do. So let's jump in, and this is basically what's going to happen. I'm going to read this to you first, and then I'm going to answer questions on it. Basically, you're going to call up, and you're going to basically have this. Good afternoon. This is Bonnie with, Mars Plumbing. How can I help you? Okay, that's what she's going to say. He's going to say, whoever answers the phone. That's just a good example. Here's what you're going to say. Hi, Bonnie. My name is Ben. I know you guys get hit by salespeople all the time, but I'm not exactly that. I own a small company that does internet lead generation, and I actually have a source of client leads that we set up in your area a little while back, and we're actively getting calls from potential new clients, and I'm looking for an office, a plumbing office, to send those to. Would there be a time that I could talk to the office manager about possibly setting this up and to send leads your way? Everybody follow me so far? Everybody follow me so far? Good. Did that seem hard? Did that seem hard? Did that seem weird? Did that seem like you were putting someone in a really weird situation when you call? Now, are they going to know that you're probably selling something down the road? Maybe. But it doesn't matter because you have leads. You have leads and you want to send them to an office. It doesn't matter if they think that it's a problem or you're trying to sell them something. You already have leads. You're telling them you already have leads and you want to send them their way. Now, what is this prefaced on? This is prefaced on the fact that you have a video up that's driving leads, right? Yeah. How many of you are going to be 100 times more confident if you already have a video up that's driving leads? Yeah. Listen, you could sell this before you have leads coming, but I'm telling you, if you want to come into that phone call like you don't need the business, have a video that's already driving leads somewhere. That's all you got to do, and I guarantee you this phone call, the way you conduct yourself and the way you talk to this person is going to be completely different because you know they need you more than you need them. And that's the key to killing it and to say these things in a very confident way. So here's what's going to happen. Next, they're going to say yes or they're going to say no. Yes, the script will be available. Don't worry. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no. If they say yes, you set up an appointment to talk to their office manager, which is when you actually pitch. Do we pitch on this phone call if we can help it? No, we don't. Unless they happen to be the office manager and they want to hear it. But typically when you call a business cold, there's no time. All right? So the idea is you're being respectful of their time, and you're saying, is there a time we could set up to talk about this? You're not trying to pitch them on the phone, and that's where most people screw up. If they say yes, you set up the appointment. If they say no, you say, well, Bonnie, we actually don't charge anything up front to do this. Could I at least send you some info via email? I know you're probably super busy right now. And if she says yes, or he says yes, and Bonnie is my example, so that's a she, ask the receptionist the email and email them detailing your service. By the way, I'm going to give you the email in just a minute, so don't worry about that. Everybody figure that out. Everybody can do that. Is that overly hard? Could you call 50 businesses a day and do that if you wanted to? Yep. Does it require you to get on the phone? Yep. But is there anybody in this room that's not capable of doing this? No. And listen, if you want to do things that give different results than what you've had, then do things differently. And if you've not ever got on the phone before, get on the damn phone. Trust me, that's going to be super effective. Are people mean to you? If anybody's ever mean to you, you get off that phone quickly, because if they're mean to you on the phone, then you don't ever want to work with them. They're not worth your damn time, and you get rid of them and thank the good Lord that he gave you that tip before you actually started working with them. He or she, whoever. But there you go. That's what we got to do. So if they give you a no that you can't email them, you move on to the next business and you never think another thing about that business again. Can everybody in here do that? Give me a yes if you can. Give me a yes if you can do that, and you're going to do that soon. because you're getting videos ranked and you're getting leads coming through it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay? When you make a call, keep notes. Okay? I'm going to show you in just a second how we find these leads in particular. It's really simple. But keep notes of who you've called and if they gave you yeses or nos. Make a little spreadsheet with a column yes, no, or that I have to send what's the email address. Keep these email addresses. Keep them handy because you can track these things. Okay? All right, let's move forward. Now, in a minute, I'm going to give you the email. Okay, let's actually do this email. You want to do the email now so I can show you what email you're sending? All right, let's do this. You send this email the second you get off the phone with them. You've got their email address. Send the email the second you get off the phone with them. That's a nice way to do it. So here's what you're going to do. You just got off the phone with them. They remember who you are. They know your name. You just talked with them. You send this email right away. You have it ready to fire off. Copy this. Pop in the stuff that needs to be in there and roll with it. So the subject line is this. This is your email that you send if they give you an email address and they don't set up a meeting with you. Hey, Bonnie, because Bonnie was our example's name. Hey, that's it. Hey, Bonnie, is that going to get opened over my lead service or, you know, find out how to get more leads or all that crap? Yeah, you just talked to Bonnie on the phone. Send Bonnie something that in the subject line says, hey, Bonnie. Simple. Don't make this complicated. We have a relationship with Bonnie now. Let's talk about it. Oh yeah, did I say hit replay or something, I'm guessing? Just hit replay and let me know the other way. Good stuff. We'll change that, Michelle. No worries. That'll take me like 2 seconds. Every so often, as I'm moving stuff, it happens. But here's what we're going to do. Ready? Here it is. Hey, Bonnie. This is Ben with Lead Nerds. That's the name of my company. I spoke with you on the phone earlier today about sending you all some new patients or clients or customers, whatever. My company actually specializes in matching business, the business type with patients. So we would say my company actually specializes in matching, you know, plumbers with new clients who need plumbers. If you give me the go-ahead from the owner, I'd like to send you guys over some new clients for free. I know that sounds crazy, but I'd like to show you how it all works without any risk to you all. Let me know if it'd be okay. Just hit reply, not replay. Just hit reply and let me know either way. Thanks, Ben. Was that hard? Was that hard? Super easy. But here's what you got to do next. The second that they send something back, so you send this, if they say yes, that would be cool. You need to send them one more email. And this is the email you need to send them. Hey again, Bonnie. So this is basically what will happen now that you started. Over the next little bit, you're going to start receiving calls from people who are looking for plumbers in your area. When that happens, you'll hear a little message that says you're receiving a call from, and whatever your company is, and then you just say hello to the person like you normally would. Okay, we route everything through a new number that forwards to your office. If you have any questions about this, feel free to email me back or call me here. After we've sent a few new clients over, I'll call you back and see how it's going. I look forward to talking again, Ben. Super simple. So what we're telling them here is we're about to send you these free leads. You send this as soon as they send it to you. We're about to send you some free leads, and just be prepared when these new leads come in. You're going to hear a little message before you actually get to pick up. And then as soon as that message is over, you just pick up like normal. And that's all there is to it. So when you start sending these leads, are there any surprises? Do they know what's coming? Do they know what's coming? Nope, no surprises. If they're not sure or they get one of these calls and it's a little weird, they can call you, right? Throw your phone number in there, make sure it's there, but they can call you. Super easy, no problem. That's all there is to it. And I'll put a little section here to remind you to put your phone number in there too. Okay? And if you want to mention, Roxana, that they're exclusive leads, feel free to do that. Feel free to do that. Now, here's the thing. Let's say that you sent those leads over, right? Let's say that you sent those leads over to them and they've gotten a couple leads and you know that they converted on those leads because let's say you're recording these, but they know that this has been, you know that this has been profitable when you call the next time. Is that going to be a warmer phone call the next time you call? Yes or no? Larry, no. They don't give us a special number. We set up the special number and just send it to their regular line. So here's the next thing. Let's say you've sent leads already. Now, either you've gone through the entire process that we just went through, or, yeah, Bruce, I'll talk about that in a sec, or you actually just don't go through that process and you just start sending leads to businesses right away. Now, if you send businesses to leads right away, do you think you're going to have the little whisper message before? Probably not, but you may. You may have the little bit whisper message before that says you're receiving a call from, you know, Lead Nerds Leads. Now, if you want to talk about the whisper message, we'll talk about that in a sec. But here's the thing that you have to realize. All you have to do is on your message, if you're using the whisper, you just need to say this call may be recorded for training purposes. That's it. And that's not on the whisper. That's what the customer actually hears when they call. And then you're pretty good. Okay? Steve says, I did that and the business receptionist hung up on me. Steve, move on. It's that simple. I've had plenty of businesses that didn't want more leads. Guess what I thought of them? Guess what I thought of them? Yeah, we don't want to work with those people. That's crazy. You guys understand, like, what I would have done? What I would have done to have people sending leads my way? When I first started out in my local business, it would have been great. But nobody called me. So that's it. Does everybody understand that with the email, with all that? Now, this is the next thing. If you've already sent leads, this is the phone call. Hey, good afternoon. This is, she's going to say, good afternoon. This is Bonnie with Mars Plumbing. How can I help you? You just basically say, hey, Bonnie, my name is Ben. Over the last few weeks, we've been sending a few leads your way. I believe we sent, and you name the person. I was hoping I could find time to talk to your business owner for about 5 minutes concerning us continuing to send more leads your way. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple, right? Let me clarify what Steve was saying. Steve says, I wasn't clear. I sent them leads with the whisper message, and I called to test the system. What system? You've called to test your lead system or called to test talking to them about it, Steve? So you called like a lead would actually call, right? Yeah, Steve, if they hung up on you, go somewhere else. Point that traffic somewhere else, brother. I've had that happen too. Some businesses are dumb. I'm literally going to make a t-shirt that I give to you guys. Some offline business owners are dumb. That's all there is to it. You can't, and then wonder why they're struggling, right, guys? Some of these offline businesses that literally wonder why they're struggling, that's why, because they're dumb. They don't want to succeed. All right, so does everybody understand how this call script, the cold call script and the warmer call script, the previous lead sent model fit together with this email? Everybody good? Like, you understand how all these things fit together, how that they work, and how you can skip even this part and the email is if you send leads automatically. But I wanted you guys to have, if you've never, like if this business that you were sending leads to is just stupid, I wanted you to have a script so that you could actually talk to a business cold. Is there any questions about how to use this script to get on the phone, and does that seem that hard? Yeah, and John has a good point. Let's talk about the mindset going into this call. We're handing out free candy, he says. And yeah, that's what you're doing. You're basically handing out something free and being like, hey, do you want us to send you some stuff? You can test it out. You don't have to. There's no risk, guys. This is the game changer for these businesses. And you hold all the cards. So understand you're in control. If you go into these calls with thinking I'm in control, you're going to rock it. Now, the next thing I talked about was the walk-in handout or fax. You guys want to see what this looks like? There's a little bit of sales psychology here. Elizabeth, great question. Elizabeth says, what number of leads do we send them? Elizabeth, send them a couple leads that convert for them, that they actually turn into business. If you send them a couple leads that don't convert because they're stupid and they can't convert into business, you don't need to send leads to them anyway, move on. But send them a few leads, and like one or two, and then call them. No problem. No problem. It's okay to train someone's staff if they're already a client. It's not okay to train someone's staff if you're trying to help them because they won't take it the right way. All right, so this is basically what it looks like. Real quick, a little sales psychology. This is our company, Lead Nerds. And, this is just something we put together real quick, nothing fancy. And I got into Microsoft Word and I wrote over the top of it. That's basically how we came this together. This is for a plumber, by the way. Need more plumbing clients. And then I put this together last night. This is a mock-up of what we actually send, but this is pretty darn close. So I can't tell you there's no typos in this one because it was 2 in the morning, but I wanted to make sure you guys had something extremely close to what we send. I'll also put this in the members area so you can see it, by the way. So, need more plumbing clients. You're busy trying to be the best plumber you can be. Let us do the marketing for you. Does that look like a headline that you've seen on a sales page? Yep. A little different, a little more professional, but that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a headline on a sales page. No hype, just simple to the point. Need more plumbing clients. Our company focuses on getting you more plumbing clients by generating leads for you using the internet. Now here's where we sell them. The best part, you don't pay us a dime until those potential leads call you on the phone. Yep, no upfront fees until we deliver results. We'll send new clients your way. All you have to do is answer the phone and set up the appointment. For more info, call us, and then you put your number. Simple. You guys can create these like mad. Get something where your logo's at the top. You can go on Fiverr and have someone design that if you don't have one already, and then literally write something like that in there and you're good to go. You can fax that to businesses. You can walk into a business and hand them that. If someone asks you what you do, you can always have those handy. Is that a little bit helpful? That's not something that I promise really, but that's something that I thought someone might ask about, and I wanted to show you kind of how we structure it. You can also put kind of the same thing on like a business card, by the way. Now, someone's going to ask, I know they are, someone is going to ask how we find leads. Are you ready? It's super complicated. Here we go. I typed in Jonesboro, Arkansas plumber. It's one of the things that we did inside the actual course, which was our example. So I wanted to go to this example again. Now what's cool is we're actually ranking our video on the page for just Jonesboro, Arkansas plumber. Pretty darn cool, right? Like we are actually, we actually are nailing this already. We already have our video on the first page for our money keyword, which is cool because we're going to start seeing a lot of calls generated through that. Not only are we on there for 24-hour emergency, not only are we on there for emergency plumber, we're also on there for just Jonesboro, Arkansas plumber or plumber Jonesboro, Arkansas. I'll put it into the members area, Sunita. Now here's the thing. We got our Google Maps stuff here, but let's actually click into this. Are there several plumbers here in town that aren't showing up on the first page? Yep. Guess where we get our people that we call? It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. Don't make it more complicated than that. Go in. you know, page 2 is where I would start. I would not start on the page 1 results of the MAPS listings. I would start on page 2, and I'm going to go down that list. Now, how many of you are like, Ben, this seems a little too simple? Seems like you're glossing over it, and it's a little too simple. Go ahead, say it. I know you're out there. Say it if you think this is too simple. Guess why this works for us? Because I don't try to make my life harder than it needs to be. That's it. Bruce says, okay, how come no one else has done this before? Bruce, I know several people that are doing this on a large scale that are destroying it. Destroying it. And guess what I want for you guys? I want you to destroy it. This is simple for a reason. And it's simple because it needs to be simple. If you make it complicated, you can't scale it. Does everybody understand that? Our call next week doesn't matter if you make this more complicated than what I'm showing you right now. That's all there is to it. If you make this complicated, you can't scale it. So don't. Okay? That's how I get clients. Once I find those phone numbers, and you can just go down the list here. Once I find those phone numbers, I get on the phone and I call. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Now, you guys ready to talk a little bit about, Gordon says, what do you mean by scaling? Gordon, handling a lot of clients, and I'm going to go through all that next week on the immersion course. Okay? You guys ready to talk about what we actually do once we get the sales meeting? Ready to rock with that? Okay. Once we actually get the appointment, whether it's a phone appointment or whether it is like a, you know, let me actually click that off and go back. Whether it's a phone appointment or whether we're actually meeting them face-to-face, you guys want to know how we actually have to put this together. There's really a couple parts, okay? Once you've sent them a few leads, or once they're willing to talk to you about sending a few leads, then they're already interested, right? If they're taking an appointment with you, they're interested in what you're doing. You got to keep this thing down to like 5 to 10 minutes. Everybody please write that down. Keep this down to 5 to 10 minutes. If you're taking longer than 5 to 10 minutes, guess what you're doing? You're making it more complicated than what it is. Now, if they ask you questions about how you're generating the leads, what do you need to tell them? Just tell them we are really good at ranking things in Google, sending traffic from ads, sending traffic from Facebook. We're really good at sending a lot of traffic from a lot of different places to people who already need your services. We're good at getting in front of them. That's it. That's all you need to say if they ask how you're sending these leads. And I'm going to tell you guys, a lot of these business owners are going to ask you that. But all you have to say is, using the internet, we've gotten really good at getting plumbers, or whatever niche it is, getting plumbers, getting dentists, getting clients through the internet. Sometimes we use ads, sometimes we rank websites, we do a lot of different things, but the goal is we put good, qualified people who need your services now in front of you. Okay? Now, you guys ready for this? Give me a yes if you're ready for me to go through the entire process here. Okay, so let's get going. So here's the overview. Larry says no. Here's the overview. The overview is this. When you first get into the meeting, you've got to explain the process. Does everybody understand that? Most people don't sell things well because they don't explain the process of how you will work together well. Let me repeat that because I don't think that everybody got that. Most people don't sell well because they don't explain how to work together well. Let me give you a perfect example of this. When I was a chiropractor, I had plenty of physical therapists that wanted us to refer patients to their office, right? Guess who we sent patients to? Was it the person that told me how great they were at getting patients well? Was it the person who actually, was out there advertising the most? Was it the person who had the best business card or the best picture? No. This is what we actually did. We sent the people to the doctor that said, Ben, we'd love for you to send patients. We're really good at what we do. Why don't you come down and take a tour of the office so you know exactly what your patients will experience when they come to our office? Do you see how that's different? Do you see how that's different? And this is why it's different. Because anytime I would refer a patient, I knew exactly how to refer them out. I knew exactly what the experience was going to be for our patient when they walked in, and I could explain to my patient exactly what was going to happen. So my patient never felt like they were out there on their own. Does that make sense to everybody? Say yes. If it doesn't, say no. But let me understand if you get what I'm trying to come across. They did a very good job. The physical therapist did a very good job of explaining to me what it would be like to work with them and the steps that would be taken and the things that would happen when we worked with them. All right, so let's move into back what we're doing. If you explain not only what you do and how much it costs, but you explain exactly what it will feel like and how it will work when they're working with you, you're going to get a lot of business. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. The next thing in the overview is we have to talk about a contract. I'll give you a mock contract. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we need an invoicing system. So I'm going to go over that in just a second. Okay? All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's jump into the sales process because this is literally the most important part of today's call. Edgar says, why wouldn't you want them to know that the leads are coming from only a video? Edgar, because what if you decided to run a Google ad? What if you decided to run Facebook traffic because you were making so much money you wanted more traffic to come through? You want to pigeonhole yourself? Guys, I'm going to tell you, I love ranking videos, and that's what this course is about, but I'm not about to cut off a great income stream if we're making a lot of money for the business we're working with and us just because I just want to stay in videos. You guys know videos are exactly how you're going to drive the majority of your traffic. But hey, if you can drive them more targeted traffic, why pigeonhole yourself? Okay? Why pigeonhole yourself, guys? All right, so are you ready to go into the sales portion as to how we do this? This is a formula, so get ready to write this down, take a screenshot. Of course, you'll have the replay, but just so you've got it. This is the process, guys. This is the process of what we're doing. And I'm going to actually walk you through this once, and then we'll go back through each portion. So here's basically what it would sound like. I'd say, hey, Jack, I appreciate you meeting with me today. What we basically do is we get a lot of leads for plumbers, and we've become very good at that, and we do it using the internet. But my goal is to basically get you more clients so that you can do what you do best, which is plumbing. So you don't have to worry about getting new customers to the door. That's what I do. So what we basically do is this. We're using the internet to find people that are searching for a plumber that they need right now. Like, that's what we're good at. We use the internet to find these people. What happens next is they're going to call a number that we put in front of them. That number will transfer over to your business, and you can pick up the call and you can take the appointment and get everything set up. What we do is when we transfer through that number, we track that call so we can track how many people we sent that were qualified versus how many that were not. So basically what happens is with plumbers, what we found is if someone stays on the line for 30 seconds or more, we know that they are a qualified lead. Okay? Because if you're talking to them that long, we know that they're a qualified lead. So anything that's below that, you could have 100 calls that are below 30 seconds, and you're not ever going to get charged for those. I want to make sure that when you are on with someone, that it's actually someone that you're going to be doing business with. And we know leads over 30 seconds are good. Now, if it's over 30 seconds and not, it's still a charge because technically people that are over on that point, you could be talking to someone for a while and decide you don't want to work with them, but it's still a lead that we charge for. That's basically it. If we decide that there is a call that was too long, that went past, and it didn't really generate you results, we can review that later. But that's basically what we do. We send calls your way using traffic from people looking for you on the internet. And then All we do from there is make sure you get that call and you can turn the lead into business. Pretty simple. So here's the thing. We only work with businesses that have a good front desk staff that can turn the lead into business. And I talked to your front desk, or before we did anything, I want to make sure that your person running your phones is good at that. Now, the psychology behind this, guys, is putting it on them, but we'll go through that in a minute. Does that make sense? And then you wait. The key here is when you say, does that make sense, and you wait, you have to, and I'm not asking you guys, I'm sorry, that was part of my script. When you say, does that make sense, you're waiting for a response just like what I did to you guys. Okay? If they say yes, then you're allowed to go into the pricing model. You say, basically what we found is this. For plumbing, every time we send a lead over, we charge, and it's a qualified lead, we charge $29 for those leads. And it's one of those things, you're not on a, you're not on a retainer, we're not making you sign a contract. It's something that you get through, we get the lead to you, we charge you for the lead, we'll charge you for the lead every 2 weeks or once a month. Does that make sense? Okay, yes. And then we would say, okay, all you got to do is when you're ready to go with this, just let me know and we'll get things going. We'll start sending your leads starting this week. You just tell me when you're ready to go. And we'll get contracts signed and everything set up. Now, I went a little bit long with that, but do you see how quickly you can go through that stuff? Let's explain this real quick. The intro is when you talk about your mission. Your mission, guys, is basically to send them leads so they can do their job. You're doing their marketing for them. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're doing their marketing for them so they can do their job. The next section, number 2, is what we basically do is this. You walk them through the process of how it works. Well, what we do is we make sure that we've got people that are looking for plumbers. We send them to you. We track the call so that we know if it was a qualified or just someone looking for a cheap plumber. We don't like the people that call up and say, how much are you, and then they hang up. We want you to get qualified leads, and that's why 30 seconds. Okay? The next thing is, does that make sense? We want a response. We want them to be able to answer questions. Okay? Ken says, last week you checked 60 seconds on the software. Was that just for example? That's just example, Ken. Every business is a little bit different, and you'll have to judge that. But usually on a business, like with a doctor's office, 30 seconds is perfect. 45 seconds, 60 seconds. 30 to 60 seconds is what it takes to know if you've got a qualified lead usually. Okay? Everybody understand what I just went through before I go on? Do I need to go back through the pricing model, the call to action, any of that stuff? Just tell me if so, guys. When you practice your pitch, when you're actually talking, I just want you to make sure you hit these points, okay, guys? That's it. I just want you to make sure you hit all of these points. You can do it however you want to. You can say whatever you want to say, but you have to pretty much hit these points in the meeting before you get to the contract. The call to action is say, well, we're going to basically you just sign a contract and we're good to go. Do you change the dollars per lead depending on the industry? Yes. How do we know what to charge for different businesses? Stop getting ahead of me, guys. I'm just kidding. We'll get right to it next. Don't worry. That's where I'm going. Contract, contract, contract. Make them sign a contract. Now, the contract says that, hey, you can basically get out any time as long as you give me this much notice. We're not doing a 12-month contract, but you're making them sign something, and that protects you. So we're going to do what do we charge, but before we do what do we charge, I want to show you a contract. You guys cool with that? Let's do a contract real quick. Now I'm just going to put this in here. Let me preface something here. Let me pull up this contract real quick. I'm not going to stay on this. I want you to look on this at your own time. But this is going to walk you through a general setup. Now, are you allowed to use this contract? I wouldn't. unless you want to get in trouble. I will give you this so you have something to take to a lawyer and ask them what modifications need to be made. You can use this as a base, but I'm going to tell you right now, this will not protect you or your clients depending on what state you are in. You're going to need modifications, states, country, whatever. You're going to need modifications to this to fit your setup. Okay? Everybody cool with that? Now the thing is, we do talk about some YouTube stuff in this. Can you change that out if you're doing other stuff? Yes. Everybody follow me on this so far. This is a setup for you to mod. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go through this too hardcore because this is for your lawyer to mod once you've got it together, but I wanted to put this in front of you so you can see what I'm about to upload. Everybody cool with this? Can I move on? The idea is you're filling in the blanks. But even after you fill in the blanks, guys, you absolutely need to take this to a lawyer. Okay? You absolutely need to take this to a lawyer and run it through your business, not through your personal, okay? All right, let's move on. Let's move back into pricing the service, because I think that's what kind of lawyer? A regular lawyer. Doesn't have to be fancy, just someone who knows how to handle contracts. Okay? So let's move back into actual pricing, because I think that's probably one of the most important things we can actually talk about today. Would you guys agree? All right. Every business, every industry is different. Two businesses in the same industry can be different if they're in different places. Okay? Do you guys understand that? There is no across-the-board pricing model for this. Okay? No across-the-board pricing model for this, but this is the math. All right, so let's say that the average lifetime value of a client. What is the average lifetime value of a client? How do you determine that? This is what you do. Get out a piece of paper and write this down. The average lifetime value of a client is, what is the average spend per purchase that a client makes at an office? So if you go into a dentist, what is the average spend that someone's going to make in your area? And you can type that in the box right now. If you go into the dentist, what do you think the average is? For a teeth cleaning, it's about $100 in most places. If you get into crown work and things like that, you're up $500 to $1,000 to $2,000. So across the board, what do you think the average is? Okay, plumber. What is the average cost when the plumber comes out to your house the first time? Trust me, you can figure these things out pretty quickly. You can talk to the business and negotiate with them based on what they tell you. Here's how it works, though. It's what is the average spend times how many times will someone use that service in a year, times how many years is that person probably going to be a client. Now, are these things that most businesses know that are still in business? Yes, they do. Feel free to negotiate with clients on prices. Why? Because you're there to help them. Okay, does everybody understand average lifetime value of a client? So it's how much do they spend each time on average? How many times does that happen a year? And how many years are they probably going to stay a client? There you go. So let's say that the average lifetime value is $2,000. Okay, so $2,000. And let's say the business that you're working with on average closes 1 out of every 10 calls that you sell and actually gets a new client. Would $40 per lead be good? Holy crap, yes it would. Think about that. 10 calls, $40 each. Now, these are good leads. $40 each, and it costs the business $400. They close one time, that puts $2,000 on average back into their system. Was that a good investment for the business? I would do that all day in my chiropractic office with that kind of math. All day. It's simple. Do you understand the math before we get into even more stuff? You've got to understand the math of how this works and how to charge. So average lifetime value of a client, let's say it's $2,000, maybe it's $1,000, whatever it is. Average closing rate on the phone. So when you send 10 leads, how many people on average do you think that they're going to get? A lot of businesses know this one too, guys. Now you can just walk into a business and say it's $30 a lead. And a lot of times I encourage you to do that just to get out there and do it. But if you have a business owner that wants to negotiate with you, I want you to have your numbers straight and what to actually talk to them about so that you've got it. So if their average lifetime value of a client is $2,000, they've got 1 out of every 10 calls that they're going to close on the phone. So if you're talking to a house painter and they close 1 out of 10 people that call, yeah. Yeah, Ken, I would say gross overall. Don't get too caught up in that stuff, though. Just get them the business. Let them figure it out. Get them the business. All right. Do I need to repeat anything that I've done so far? Do you guys get this overall? I know you're going to have to review this slide, but do you understand the basic core concept of what we need to know if a business owner wants to negotiate with us and the numbers you need to understand? Say no if you don't. Now, this is different for every industry that you're in, based on if they have a high ticket, if they have a low ticket, and how much their customers come back to use them, okay? All right, cool. Now, here's the thing. A smart business is going to turn that 1 client into 10 more, and they don't have to pay you for those. Okay? Elizabeth, this is not based on any niche. This is just an example to show you numbers. Okay? Just an example to show you numbers. Okay. So let's go through this again. Average lifetime value formula. It's the average value of a sale times the number of repeat transactions times the average retention times in months or years of a typical customer. So if you want to see that formula written out, there it is. And just a good example would be like a gym. A gym, let's say a gym has $20 a month times 12 months times 3 years. There you go. I won't leave that slide up long because I think everybody already gets it, but there's a good example of how it works. Do you think gyms, like really, really profitable gyms, have this number down to a science? Like absolutely to a science. Here's a great one from Larry. Larry says a roofer is easy, for example. The lifetime equals 1 job. Cost is $4,000 to $7,000. So Larry, is it really easy for us to determine what we would set up to get a roofer business and how much a cost per lead should be for them? Totally is, right? If it's 1 job and you know what that job cost, it's really easy to figure out what you should charge. Because listen, Larry, if I'm charging $100 a lead or $40 a lead, can you work out the math? Like, to me, for a roofer, $40 to $60 kills it. Let's say that they close 1 out of every 10, and they're paying us $400 to $600 a month, but they're getting these $4,000 to $7,000 jobs. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Depends on the market, Gordon. Depends on if you're selling expensive houses versus really, really cheap houses, that's completely different. Do you understand? Gordon's question is, what do I charge a real estate agent? There are no absolutes, guys. Don't make this an absolute game. You have to know your market. And listen, you are here to keep a customer month after month. You're not here to take advantage of them. If they're not making, 5 to 10 times off of what they're selling versus what you're charging them, you got a problem. Terry says it seems low. It seems low to get a roofer for $40, and you would sell $40 plus a portion of the job. Terry, if you want to do that, that's fine. But you know what I like? I like when people think they're getting a steal. And you know what, Terry? I can send 10 leads and get $400 a month off a roofer and be making them a millionaire, and I'm pretty happy. You know why, Terry? Because I can get roofers all over the country. Do you see how this works? Yeah, we're not limited to one, guys. We can go rock this shit out everywhere. Gordon, what's the commission off for a $250,000 house? Think about that. I'll get your real estate agents at the end, okay? And yeah, they can be pains in the asses. Yeah, 6%. Do the math on what their commission is, Gordon. I'll keep going while we're doing that. All right, last thing. I just showed you a bunch of numbers. Don't worry too much about that. If you get too much into numbers before you get started, you're crazy. Pick a price for your niche and run with it. When you're delivering results, you can always raise your price per lead, and the business will pay it as long as you're able to be profitable. Make sense? If you say I'm charging $30 a lead and somewhere down the road you decide to go up with your pricing, that's okay. If they're making money off what you're doing, are they going to go along with it? Yeah. Just build that into your contract that at this point we'll review our price per lead. Gordon, what's with the all caps, brother? Good Lord. Unstick that caps lock, man. Makes me think you're yelling at me. All right, let's move forward. Everybody understand how we're determining price per lead. Who wants a little more research? Who wants? I know there's some of you nerds like me in here. If you're a nerd, say yes, I want more research. It's okay. Say it. I know who you are. This will give you a little bit of a better idea of what people are. You guys saw this way back in high school, but you probably haven't thought about it since high school. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you my screen, and I'm going to show you how we learn a lot about what people are doing and how much money they're making. You guys remember the Bureau of Labor Statistics? You guys used to see this stuff in high school. Get ready. We're going to the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Get ready. Here we go. So we're going to dentist. We're searching for dentist. And inside we see a search for Occupational Outlook Handbook. I know you haven't seen this since high school. Don't throw up. Don't worry. And you can start seeing what these people earn per hour in their business. Now, when you understand what they earn per hour, what they make per year, does it get a lot easier to figure out kind of what is an easy thing to charge them per lead? It makes it easier for me. Even though that's their personal income and not their business income, you get a good idea of, on average, what they're bringing in per year and what that means to them to have new leads coming through the door. Would you guys agree? Yeah. Yeah. The cool thing is you can start seeing some interesting things about the lowest 10% and the top 10% of your audience. So the lowest 10% of dentists earns less than $71,000, so that's still not too bad. And the top 10% earned $166,000 or more. So make sure that you are going to BLS.gov, and you can look up, you can search, you go to the Occupational Outlook Handbook. This is updated pretty often, every couple years. And there you go, guys. Pretty cool, right? You're still going to have to come up with a price for each niche that you're in, but my advice is this. Pick one and get really damn good with it. After you've worked with 2 or 3 dentists and you've set some stuff up, do you think you're going to have any problems pricing your leads anymore? Nope. You won't. You won't. All right, you ready to move into collecting payments? You ready to move into collecting payments? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to log into Callfire because I just want to give you some Callfire examples. I know some of you are using analytic call tracking to auto do it. I'm going to show you analytic call tracking stuff a little bit more when we go into our scaling. But I'm going to show you the hard way to do this right now, okay? The hard way to do it right now. So let's say that we've got this particular one in Texas. Let's see. Let me do our call records. We've done several transfers. Can you guys see kind of here what we've got with the leads we're sending? Some of these were crap leads. They didn't really go. But we've got one lead here on this page that was 2.5 minutes. Do you think that's a good lead? Yeah, that's a great lead. That's a great lead. So let's say during this particular time period, we only had one come through that was actually worth a damn. By the way, some of these things that you see that are just 15 seconds, 20 seconds that are really, like some of the 20 seconds are good, but some of these others, just so you know, some of these others are just automated services calling to do telemarketing. Just so you know what those are. So those aren't qualified leads. Do you see why that 30-second mark is so damn important for your businesses that you're working with? See why that's a big deal? We don't want these automated things that, you know, the answer machine picks up. And you know what? They usually are right there pretty low. But this was a real call. We know it. So what do we do to charge for that? Well, we go through and we would say, okay, how many leads in this time period do we have? We have one that's probably really, really good. So we charge them for that. How many of you want to make sure you have a good invoicing system? So you got one good lead, you want to send an invoice off. What do? I use FreshBooks. How many of you use FreshBooks? This is not the nearly automated version, guys. I'll get into that soon, but I wanted to show you when you're just starting out and you don't want to go crazy, you just want a proof of concept. I use FreshBooks. Okay? So here's FreshBooks. You set up a FreshBooks account. It's fairly cheap overall. You can use this for a lot of your internet marketing things, by the way. But here's what I do. I go in and I say, I want to do a new invoice. FreshBooks. FreshBooks.com. So this is a FreshBooks, and this is for a client that I do some stuff for, but I just decided I would steal their FreshBooks to do this because they haven't activated it yet, so why not? We do use PayPal, Roxana, but go with me. Trust me, you'll see why this is better than PayPal's straight-up system in just a second. So what we've got is this. We go in, we click New, and we want to do a new invoice. Everybody follow me? Do I need to make this bigger? I'll make it a little bigger. Okay, let's click this, new invoice. So I'm going to do my fake client here, fake address, all that, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to find lead generation. For this particular thing, what you would do is you would do like lead generation, dentist, lead generation, whatever. You can pre-program these things in. I've already programmed in that it's $22 per lead that I send their way, okay? Everybody follow me so far? So if we wanted to do a new one, I could say new item, and I could see dental lead, $40, save item. So then we've got one. So for dental, let's say that I sent 3 this month. It automatically adjusts the total that I had there. Everybody see that? It's automatically, you pop it in, it's good. Once you get the client, you put in their email address, the real address, they're saved in your system. So how hard was that to go look at the lead? I could train my assistant to do this. Go look at the lead, pop in how many leads, we're done. It's freshbooks.com. It's a paid service, but it will keep you organized if you do it this way. And then we click send by email. Okay, I've got this. We're going to send it off. Okay, it sent my invoice for me. Now, real quick, this is what it would look like on their end. I just opened up my email account so you could see what this looks like on their end, okay, guys? So this is the email that they get. If I were to display images, whatever your company's image is, displays right there, looks good, looks professional, right? They come in, they click the link. They're taken to a page that looks like this. Still very professional, still very branded. Pay now. Because we had an old invoice for the company, it's going to be around there. And then they click the button, and they're taken to PayPal, where they can either pay with a PayPal or they can pay with a debit or credit card. Everybody follow me there? Does that make sense? Why do I use FreshBooks? Because it keeps excellent records for your accountant at the end of the year. Why else do I use FreshBooks? Because they have an excellent iPhone and Android app that you can set these things up while you're on the road. Anywhere, really. You can send invoices immediately. So let's say you get off on a trip and you don't have a computer on you. You can do all these things from your phone. I love FreshBooks. It's great. And just because it's that easy. Now, I need to say this because there's a few of you that won't sell pay per lead. You're going to do, we're going to send you leads, and it costs $200 a month for us to send, and that's unlimited leads. How many of you want to do that? I think you're crazy, but if you do, Ken, what it will do is it will keep emailing them. If the invoice is past due, it will send them things. And the cool thing is Ken, we'll just, if we see, it'll tell you the invoices that are past due, and if we see clients that are past due, then we would just stop their service or call them on the phone. So yeah, it keeps records and it tells you who's behind. Everybody follow me so far? Good. If you want to charge monthly, I would say you can do PayPal. You can do PayPal. I use a couple services. I use Authorize.net to get my own merchant account, and I use Recurly to set up billing. I'm not going to talk much about that because I think most of the people here are actually wanting to do pay per lead. Am I right? Tell me yes or no. Why do we love pay per lead? The sale is easier. You can make a lot more money. And overall, you're delivering results, not, yeah, it keeps them paying longer. There you go. But I just want to tell you, for some of my services, I use Recurly and Authorize.net. If anybody has any questions about that, just ask in the Facebook group. I'd be glad to tell you more. But I think that's getting a little too advanced. And what did I say is important that we do, guys? Well, we keep it simple. We keep it simple. All right, let me switch over here real quick. Okay, I know we went fast today, but did you guys pick up what you needed to pick up today to get out there and rock this out? Yes? All right, we have a few more minutes. Let's take some questions. First question is from Larry. Do we snail mail contracts or email? Larry, a lot of our contracts we use online services. There's VeriSign that you can do, so you can put your contract online and they can sign it online, or you can absolutely just fax them something over, have them sign it, and mail it or fax it back. So, yeah. Michelle, throw that into the group, and we'll answer questions there on that because I want to make sure we're good there. If they say hold off, I have too many leads right now. Is it easy with these tools to send them a chunk and the others to another client? All you do basically, Elizabeth, is you change the number in the tracking software, which is CallFire, or with analytic call tracking, which is Joe's tool. You change where that number is redirecting to, and when they tell you to change back, you change back if you want them to do that way. Can I get the contract off my dashboard? Meaning, do you want me to? I will have that uploaded for you guys soon. How far do you let a client go before shutting them off and replacing them? Ted, honestly, if they go past 30 days payment, they're getting one phone call past those 30 days, and then I'm shutting them off. That's about it. Good. Guys, any other questions? I feel like we did a good job of putting this out. I went quick, but I feel like we covered everything very in depth. It's not about complication. How many customers should we have max per city? Divide by zip code. Typically, Roxanne, I try to nail down one good client per zip code. Unless it's huge, then I'll nail down several clients. I don't want my own videos competing with me on different clients. You know, I'll do 5 videos for one person, but I don't want to have that conflict. I like kicking ass for one client and then moving out somewhere else. I use Twilio with tracking software, right? Gordon, if you're using the analytic call tracking software, use Twilio. If you use CallFire, then no, you are actually using their in-system. But the benefit of using the analytic call tracking software is that you can do auto billing, which is nothing like what I showed you today, but it is something I'm going to be showing you next week. Yeah, no problem. And I'll go in depth with that, because if you're really going to scale this business out, you need to be using Joe's analytic call tracking software, because it does automate your billing, and it auto sends out bills based on how many qualified leads you pull through the system. Cool. All right, guys. One more request. Like I said, when you get a video that you're ranking, you know, take a screenshot of that, or even better, actually do a screen grab video and post that video in the group. I want to hear your voice. I want other people to hear your voice. You guys have seen my Facebook wall. I've been bragging about you guys for the last 2 weeks and all the cool testimonials we're getting, but it would be great if we could get them on video too. That's going to help us a lot, and it's going to help a lot of other people because they can see the results you're having. Please understand, you all are inspiring people right now. You would not believe how many people I get per day that are asking me to get in this course, and I just have to tell them that no, they can't get in right now because I want to focus my attention on the people we have in there. So make sure that you hit them up with a nice video and tell them what you're doing, because like I said, at some point we will open this up, and I want them to be inspired when they get in, and I want to feature what you're doing. Gordon says, Ben, I missed last Tuesday. Where's the replay? Come out fine. Gordon, if you jump inside of our sites, which is the evilvideomagician.com/members, and you log in there, in the main training, it's the last menu item, but it's the top menu. I don't have it on the side menu yet, but if you go to the top menu, you'll see it's the last section there, and that's where it's at. Facebook group requests, I will get on those today. I'll make sure Alicia's on getting the new people in that haven't gotten in the Facebook group yet, and we'll get that going. Good stuff. Guys, thank you for being here today. Alicia and I enjoyed having you. And get back in the Facebook group. Keep asking questions. If you're not in there yet, go through the members area to apply, and then Alicia will bump you in. We'll be good. Robert, perhaps. That's probably a good Facebook question. That way you can get the group opinion on it. All right. Guys, take care of yourself. Thank you again for being here. We will have the replay as well as all the links that I talked about in the call, you know, the contracts, the cold call scripts. Everything will be uploaded to the membership site as soon as possible. We should have that up within 24 hours. You will be able to access that through the offline training. There is a section 5, I believe it is, and as soon as we get everything processed and uploaded, we're going to put everything on that particular section. Next week, we're going to do outsourcing. Do not miss next week. It is going to be insanely important right now. If you're ranking a video and you're sending any leads yet, go get a client. If you're not sending leads, keep doing things to help that video rank up even higher. Let's start seeing some more results between now and then. I want to hear what you guys are doing and if you're getting the leads in the next little bit. So keep me posted in the Facebook group. Any questions you have, tell me in the Facebook group. David and I are there to help you guys, and you guys know David has been rocking it out. He is a rock star, but if you don't ask, we can't help you. So make sure you ask in there. Thanks again for being here today, guys. Dr. Ben Atkins here, and I will see you inside of the Facebook group, and thanks for being a part of Immersion Session 2 for the Evil Video Magician. All right, see you guys. I'll talk with you soon.